My opinion on this might seem strange to some, but keep in mind, I've been playing with watches for a long time. I have some very peculiar ones, but I legit look at this watch sent in by Vambrace. The two curators of this brand are Mike, who owns Keybar. Maybe you've heard of Keybar. I'll put a link to that down below. They make these little bars and you can put your key in there and you like bolt it together, but you can put other pieces in there like little knives or a little comb, like little doodads, and you can use multiple keys. So he's in manufacturing and design, and that's where a lot of this comes into play. But then also with Anish, with his design expertise and his watch enthusiasm, they teamed up and created this, the Vambrace. So this guy here is funky. I get it. I like it in this configuration. I'm going to wear it on my left wrist, so it's offset and destro. But if the project is backed, when I say project, it's on KickStarter. I'll put a link down below to it. If the project is fully backed, you can select which orientation you want it. So you could have it that way. So you're going to wear it on your right wrist, so you're left-handed, or you just prefer it on your right wrist. Or maybe you're just crazy and you want it on your left wrist, but you want it to dig into your hand. Pick this orientation. But this is the correct orientation for my preference. So right away, this thing is wild. It's crazy. It's grade 5 titanium, sapphire crystal, Sellita SW200 movement, big, bold handset, as well as markers, super visible, oversized crown. Let's get into the size real quick, shall we? Now that we're 2 minutes in. So the width of the watch. Now I'm being fair, so I measured from here to here, excluding any crown guards or bumps or doodads. I measure at 42.2 millimeter. I think if you were to measure the total width of it, it would be 47. But it is 42.2, and I think that's a fair measurement. The lug to lug is actually pretty short at 47 millimeter, and you have a nice curvature to that case back. All the edges and everything are all smoothed out too. And this is, keep in mind, this is just a prototype. Mike has been wearing this prototype on his wrist while working in the machine shop for 6 months. There are going to be some refinements to this watch for sure. The thickness, only 13 millimeter thick, so it's thin. It has 22 millimeter lug opening. It'll come on either a nylon 2-piece strap as well as the FKM rubber strap. In this configuration right here is how I would wear it. That massive signed 7.9, nearly 8 millimeter screw down crown is easy to use, plenty of grip on there, but also fairly smooth. There's no sharp edges. I really like that about this watch because it looked like it'd be like futuristic or very utilitarian and it would have a bunch of sharp edges, but it literally doesn't. It is completely softened, very smoothed out, better than a lot of luxury watches that I've handled that are really sharp edges. This one's all smooth. It's going to be very comfortable on wrist. And again, like I said, this is a prototype. So much so that actually they sent over, this is the block that they mill it out of. So this is like mid-production of the case. So you can kind of see what's going on here. They still, you got to do the case back. You got to do this bezel part, which bolts on. You can see the holes right here that they'll thread, and then they'll bolt that down. That is very, very cool to see it in this phase of the construction. So I'm a huge fan of titanium, grade 5 titanium even better because you can do some more polishing and they'll do all of that in the final product. But check out that dial. This, for being a prototype, it's actually pretty dang legit. I'm digging it. So you can see there the minute hand's covering the date, but there is a date there. Actually, I can probably move that real quick. There you go. I've owned a few destros, so I can operate the crown with my left hand. So really well done maxi markers, as well as that big fat handset, keeping it super legible. The only thing I would add to this watch, and I'm assuming they'll watch this video, is give me an orange dial. You give me an orange dial, you got me hook, line, and sinker. So the Kickstarter has already started. I just realized that I did the unboxing and I shared this with you guys, but I needed to get this video out because the Kickstarter's live right now, snapshot in time. It is actually live right now. And I know a lot of people are anti-Kickstarter, but this campaign is a all or nothing type campaign. So your risk is really low. And Mike, being the owner of KeyBar, is already, owner operator of a successful business. So your risk is really low. This isn't like a new weird startup. There's some backing to this brand and to this project that really takes away a lot of the concerns that you may or may not have with Kickstarter. So price point right now, again, snapshot in time, we've already missed the early. There was only a few at 800. So now the early bird special is 900 on this watch. So and that's partly because of the Sellita SW200 that's in there. That really ramps up the price. So for being a unique watch like this, I think that's a fair offering. I know it's an unknown brand, but I just like the project. The project looks really cool. I get asked by a ton of people often to share watches on this channel. I'm very hesitant to show a lot of them these days, and I'm very hesitant to show watches that are on Kickstarter, but this one was just too dang cool. I had to get it on the show, so I agreed to check it out and share it with you guys. Here it is next to the Seiko Monster, so you have some frame of reference. For example, like this is how it's going to be offset. So that offset really makes a big difference. Let me pop it on my 7 1/4 inch wrist so you can see that. This thing is incredibly comfortable. It is big, and it is, well, it's really not that big, but like it's kind of chunky looking. So you would think it would be unwieldy. It's completely not. It's like extremely comfortable on wrist. And that offset is just really cool. Now just imagine this with an orange dial and maybe a no date. I could take the date or no date, it's fine. But orange dial, how would I not own one of these? And listen, we don't need to make like 20 orange dials. We need one orange dial just for me. Just random Rob, selfish want is one orange dial. I know that's a pretty big ask. I know that's probably a difficult thing to accomplish because you can't just buy like one dial usually. But speak up. I don't know. Would you guys like an orange dial? There's a few different colorways. I know one of the stretch goals is a full black dial. One black dial, DLC, black coating is one of the stretch goals. So let's, again, I don't have my UV light. What is this? A dead flashlight? Okay, I have a dead flashlight. That's not helpful. Hopefully the studio light's charged up enough. Let's turn them off and check out how awesome is the Lume. Holy cow. That's what you get when you have that maximum real estate for all of that really high quality BGW9, and they just went to town on it. So super cool watch. Really love the project. I hope it's backed because I would like to get one of these. So let me know what you guys think. Orange dial, orange dial. Let's make it happen. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next vid.